Good evening. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining me. I am Julie with Creations by Julie. I go live every Thursday and Monday at 6 o'clock. And Ed is behind the camera. Let me pull up the Facebook and make sure we're actually on. Okay, I believe we are. Let me turn this down so he can catch comments. Y'all say hi when you jump on. Let us know where you're from and what you've been doing today, what the weather's like. A while ago when I looked, it's 71 here now. We're in Southeast Texas. And tomorrow, I think 80, and Christmas Day, 84 degrees. Y'all, that's just not Christmas. I would love a little bit of snow for Christmas to make it feel like Christmas. But most of the time here in Texas, we have to run our air conditioner at Christmas. But thank y'all for hopping on. I will tell you, if you comment tonight, Ed's going to scroll through the comments. He will pick 3 names. I will put them in our little blessing bag right here. And the 1st of January, we will pick a winner, and they will get a box of craft supplies. You never know what you might get in it. I'll throw a bunch of stuff in it that'll help you with your crafting. Might even give you a complete kit from Magnolia. Who knows? But the more you comment, the bigger your chance is that he'll scroll and find your name. And he's just doing it randomly. Tonight, we are going to build a primitive snowman. And I will tell you that I saw, and I think her name is Lisa, but it's the Silver Farmhouse. And if you like primitive, go follow her page. She does all kinds of things with paper bags, and it's 90% of it is primitive stuff. But I saw her do this snowman, and I thought that is so cute. So I know, Christmas is almost here. Merry Christmas, by the way. It's actually what? Christmas Eve. So,
Kelly Marie said hey.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining. I think Ed's going to write your name down first. But, you can use snowmen all through January and February, all through the winter. So I thought now would be a good time to make this. I'm definitely going to make more of these next year. But I only bought one light bulb. Now, you can tell this is a big light bulb. It's not actually a real light bulb. It is, I guess it's glass. I only bought one, so, but I left the bottom of it unpainted. I paid $3.99 from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they put these on sale or not. It's actually back towards the back with the mason jars and I think candy jars and stuff like that, but the lid comes off. So it's actually a jar. It was clear, but you need to put about 2 coats of paint on it, and I didn't want y'all just watching paint dry. And it'll once I've done a couple of things ahead of time, it'll go together really quick, really fast. Doesn't take many supplies. You've got to get this jar. I think they had them in 2 sizes. This one is about 5 inches.
About the size of your typical
About
street
6,
light.
yeah, about 6 inches tall. I think they have one that's even taller and one that's smaller. She also showed how you could make a tree ornament out of a regular blown out light bulb. You might want to check that out on her page. There again, it was the Silver Farmhouse. And y'all, when I first started watching her, these glasses are driving me crazy. Sorry. I had to take them off.
Did you use paint for glass on it, Kelly Marie?
I did not. I'll show you. I used just this Waverly chalk paint. Now, I did put 2 coats, and I'm fixing to put another one to use with the cinnamon. But folk art, Lisa uses folk art multi-surface paint. But I had this chalk paint. It's kind of a country white. It's called plaster. And it did fine. But you're going to need to let it dry really well, which is why yesterday I painted it so that it was good and dry. A lot of times if you use chalk paint and you don't dry it real well, when you go to put on your other coat, it pulls up the first coat. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, you can use regular light bulbs to make a tree ornament too. But when I first started watching her, I thought,
Brenda Bracken says hi.
Hey Brenda, welcome. I thought, she sounds so familiar. And I don't know how many of you are friends with, what is her name? Is it Lee? The Shabby Tree. I don't remember her name, but I thought, she sounds just like her. And the more I got to listening and checking, they're sisters. So I thought, well, that's why she sounds so much like her. She doesn't talk quite as fast as the Shabby Tree, but her Facebook page is the Silver Farmhouse. Okay, so let's get started. Like, you're going to need one of these jars, and like you can tell here, I didn't paint the bottom so I could tell y'all what it cost, but it's
crafty
clear.
decorator.
What?
Karen Marie said the crafty decorator.
No, it's the Shabby Tree, but her sister from the Silver Farmhouse is who I watched do this. But it starts off clear, so don't look for a white. I've painted this with 2 coats of this plaster. But you find it back in the back with the mason jars and I think they have glass blocks back there, all the glass stuff. So I guess it really is glass.
Karen Marie said must be a different sister then.
Oh, she has another, Shabby Tree has a different sister? Oh, I don't know. I just knew when I started listening to her, she sounded just like the lady from the Shabby Tree. And like I said, then somebody said something about her sister. So I'm assuming that, and they look a lot alike. Okay, so you're gonna need this light bulb from Hobby Lobby. Any kind of white paint, I guess. Like I said, she was using the Folk Art multi-surface paint, but I just used this plaster, Waverly, and I painted 2 coats on it, and it put a good coat on it. Then you're gonna need some black paint, some orange paint, and some cinnamon, and a paper bag, and I'll show you in just a second what I've already pre-did the paper bag. The first thing we're gonna do is do our lid, because it's gonna need to dry. So I'm gonna set that over here and get my black paint, and I'm just using the acrylic black paint, just the little thing of black paint, and I threw my cinnamon in the floor. Yeah. You can say something, Ed. Ed's like pointing down. You want to go down? Yeah. I told him, I said, my eyes have given me fits today. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but man, do they hurt.
Brenda Bracken said she has a deep, rough voice, like she might smoke.
Which one? The Shabby Tree or, I don't know, to me, and I want to say her name is
Allergies?
Lisa. They have, I thought they kind of had a higher voice. It's definitely different, and you watch the 2 and see if you think they sound alike. Okay, I'm just going to take my lid, and what I'm going to do is, I didn't get any fresh wipes, Ed. If you'll just get me a wet cloth, I think will be fine. I always forget something. If y'all have watched me before, you know Ed has to go find stuff all the time. So I'm just going to paint this.
I'm not necessarily good at it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it a little at a time, because I knew I'm going to get it all over my fingers. Okay, thank you. And then I'm going to just take some cinnamon, and this is what I had left over from the bag. And I'm just going to we want it to look grungy looking. And y'all, this is the first time I had ever worked with cinnamon, and I was really surprised. It really does make it look rusty. But I'm just going to do a little at a time, and I'm going to reuse some of the cinnamon in my plate. Get it on there. This is what, I guess, why you would call it primitive. It's really rustic looking. But you're just painting that lid, and you've got to let it dry, so that's why we're doing it first.
I could fix you up with some rusty stuff and not near so then so too.
Yeah, you probably could have. I could roll it. But the Silver Farmhouse, she even took paper bags the other day and made primitive snowballs with them. She did a Christmas tree with just a bag. And this doesn't have to totally cover that. I just didn't want to take my fingers and get it off. Because I do want it to be black. And who knows, I may never get the cinnamon out of my brush. I haven't mastered the cinnamon yet. That's fine. I saw somebody do things like this a little bit with coffee. Cinnamon does make your house smell good though. Okay. So I'm going to take this and just set it, try to set it down in that thing for a minute and let it dry. So we have to do that first and let it dry. I'm going to need a bigger rag than this, Ed. This was a paper towel. I need a rag. Or you can go in there and get my baby wipes. Either one.
Where they at?
In the top drawer where the Mod Podge is at. He wouldn't think he was helping if I didn't send him after stuff, y'all. Top drawer, yeah. Should be laying right there on top of the brushes. This could get messy really quick. But it's just paint, so it's okay. Thank you. Okay, so that kind of got our lid for our snowman. But I'm not through with that black brush, I don't think. Yeah, maybe that brush I am. All right, now we are going to put the third coat. And I probably could have got away with just 2 coats of the white. I mean, just 1 coat and then this other coat. But I didn't. All right, so what we're going to do here, and we're going to do it.
They're still trying to figure out that lady's name. Brother Bracken says, you know, I've watched her for years.
Yeah, the Shabby Tree, I want to say her name is Barb. That's what it is, Barb. It's Barb from the Shabby Tree and Lisa from the Silver Farmhouse. And I don't know about the other place that was mentioned. Put the name in there again, and I'll check her out.
She's,
I don't think I've ever watched her. Okay, I'm going to do this a little at a time, too. I've got
the
my
crafty
cinnamon.
decorator.
Okay, I don't think I've ever watched that. I'll have to check that out. Okay, so this time I'm going to give it basically a third coat, and I'm going to do the bottom, too, while I'm doing. I'm going to put my cinnamon on now because, you know, it has to stick.
Well, glass still have rust on it.
Well, this snowman's going to.
Oh, okay.
Ed tries to think practical, y'all. And this won't have as much. I'm just going to sprinkle a little on. Just to kind of give it that primitive look.
He's made out of snow dipped out of the road, dirty snow.
Dirty snow? Yeah. Watch me. I'll mess around and dip my brush here in the cinnamon. Then
Linda Bracken said the name they're trying to think of is Sherry.
Sherry from the Crafty Decorator? Maybe she's a sister too. I don't know. We'll have to check that out. But if you like primitive, go watch the Silver Farmhouse. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it around and keep going. See, I almost dipped my brush in the cinnamon. What?
Karen said as long as the snow's not yellow.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched somebody do something today. Oh, it was a rerun from, oh my gosh. Her and her husband do it, and their name just escaped me. Christy's Craft Room or something like that. It was Christy and Tim. And she was painting some snowmen. But it wasn't a video she did today. It was an older one. And somebody.
I know for sure, Karen Marie says, I know for sure she, the crafty decorator is Barb's sister. They've done lives together.
Oh. Okay. Well, you know, I may be wrong. I don't know, but that's what and to me they sounded like. Okay, we're going to set this aside to dry. And I'm going to sit it down in that cinnamon and that'll be okay. I'm going to let it dry for a few minutes. I may have to hit it with the glue. Not the glue, the heat gun. So those two things need to dry before we can do anything else to them. So another thing that I did, I don't think I need this anymore. For the hat, for the snowman, she took a paper bag. She took a paper bag and painted it black. I did that ahead of time. She just cut the end of a paper bag off, just a lunch bag. And the reason I need to do it ahead of time is because you needed the two sides. And she took black paint and just painted it and then sprinkled cinnamon on it. So it is going, and I may need to dry this. Let me turn the heat on that for just a second. I may send cinnamon all over the kitchen. But you want to crinkle that up and you want it to dry good, so.
It's kind of like my oatmeal in there.
Huh?
Looks like my oatmeal in there.
Yeah, it does. Ed's always teasing me that I put a little coffee in my cream and sugar. Well, he puts a little oatmeal in his cinnamon in the mornings. Okay, I think that's dry. It smells good though. I'm just going to take a little brush and just kind of.
Karen Marie says I have to check out the one you're talking about, but I have heard of, but I know Barb has other sisters. So there's
well, yeah, and I guess they're all crafty. That's cool. My sisters say they're not crafty. Now my brother is crafty. He makes jewelry out of spoons. And of course, you can always go back if you've marked it off too much or whatever. But we're going to make this the bottom of the snowman's hat. So I'm just going to, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Y'all know snowmen are not perfect. So I'm just going to kind of put it in the center and I'm going to draw a circle. Just maybe 2 inches out. And it's not going to be a perfect circle.
I could have got you a protractor and it would have been perfect.
Nah, it doesn't need to be perfect. Snowmen are not perfect. But all this was black paint with cinnamon sprinkled on it. Really makes your house smell good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. Just to kind of give a brim to his hat. And I'm going to crinkle it a little bit. See, that's not a perfect circle at all, but that's okay. We're going to smush it up a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of wrinkle him up. And then I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to go right at the edge. Don't have a steady hand, but I want to glue this on. Okay, I did turn that on, didn't I? Here it comes. And I'm going to go just around the edge. Of that. And kind of put it kind of in the center. And just hold it for a second. Have y'all ever worked with cinnamon? I've seen quite a few people this year at Christmas do things with cinnamon, and that's a word I normally can't say. I say cinnamon and okay. I think that's on there enough, and so I want to be able to screw this back on my light bulb, so I'm just going to poke a hole and kind of cut out the center.
Cinnamon ornaments.
Now, I did those a long time ago. I remember doing those.
That's what Karen said.
Yeah, I did them a long time ago.
Carrie Marie says just bacon with it.
Yeah. Yeah, Ed puts tons of cinnamon in his oatmeal, and like I said, I guess it's good for you. And I got that down the thing of cinnamon. He's like, "You're going to use my cinnamon?" Reach up there and get the thing of cinnamon I showed you that I bought for you. I'm like, I'm replacing it. You got plenty of cinnamon. Yeah, here's the thing I bought him. Well, didn't just buy it because you've used it. So I said, I'm replacing it. You're good. Okay. So this is the brim. We're going to mush it up a little bit. I think I pulled it loose there on one side. So I'll fix it. Right there. I may have so much cinnamon that glue won't stick. Who knows? Like I said, I did not make one of these ahead of time because I only had one bulb. So if it won't stay glued that way, I'll figure out a different way. Maybe I just need to leave it set for a few minutes. Okay? Okay, now we're going to take our snowman. And I think I need to dry him for just a second. He's not quite dry. I hate for y'all just to sit while paint dries. But we don't want all this on him anyway. I just don't want to smear the paint when I go to wipe off the cinnamon. He just needs to kind of have a dirty look. Chalk paint dries faster than acrylic paint usually, so let's see if that's going to be okay. And I'm just going to take my hands and just rub this. You really rub a lot of it off just to kind of make him dirty. Looks like he's been in the Alabama red clay, doesn't it? Yeah, we came back from Alabama a couple of weeks ago after I buried my mom. We were way into Louisiana, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we kept hearing these clunks, and we thought, what in the world is that noise? And we got to watch, and we could see red dirt dropping from the bottom of our van and hitting the road, and just like a red dust. I guess it got hot and was turning loose, even though it wasn't, that cold. Okay. You can see how you put as much or as little cinnamon as you want to on your snowman. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this cinnamon up and put it in my plate, because I'm gonna save it. I'm not gonna throw it away. But I'm just going to take it and put it, save what I can of it. Okay, so basically that's all we've done. Now I will, I think, probably on his hat, go back and touch up that places a little bit. And then you're just going to put the hat back on him. Screw it all the way down. Okay, and then we're going to put his scarf on him.
Yeah. He got out of focus there a minute and I couldn't get him back.
Probably because I was moving, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to figure out where the best place is to put his little
That makes
face.
a pretty good hat. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, it's just a paper bag with cinnamon all over it. Cinnamon. And do I have him on there straight? I don't think I did. There, now he's straight.
And
Okay.
cinnamon gets in the thread and makes it hard to screw on.
I think that's going to be, so I'm going to take a little bit, I want to put a scarf on him before I draw his face. And I'll tell y'all now, I'm not a painter. I hope I can do 2 dots on the nose. We'll see. Okay, but I want him to have a scarf. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on and figure out where I want his face. face and stuff to be.
Look at the front of his hat too, make sure it's in the right place.
His hat doesn't have a front or back. Not yet. It may in a minute. Okay, so see, that's what we've done so far. And this is a pretty good white area right there for me to draw him a face. So I'm going to try to clean my hands again. I don't know why. And I'm going to attempt to give him 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. We'll see. But really and truly, I mean, it comes together so fast. And so you can tell that paint wasn't quite dry. Normally when I do things and I'm not doing a live, I wait a good while for things to dry. And that's one reason I try to do as much ahead of time for y'all as I can. Okay, I'm going to turn him towards me now. I'm going to take a little brush and some of this black paint. What did I say her name was? Lisa. You'd have to watch her. She did her eyes just like the eyes were closed, a little half moon. But I'm going to go ahead and try to do some little dots for his eyes. But it never fails. I usually do one dot bigger than the other. So I'm just going to draw his little face on here. There again, doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to put little X's for his mouth. Like stitches. Only that one was really big. I need little ones.
Brenda had to hop off a minute, but she came back. Somebody called her. They video called her like the kids do.
FaceTime. Evidently, I can't do thin lines, y'all.
Karen Marie says I use the end of the paintbrush for dots.
Yep, I could have done that. Okay, I'm going to wash the paintbrush off. All right, see, I've got him 2 little eyes and some like stitches for his mouth. I'm going to use Apple Barrel Harvest Orange for him a nose. And it's just going to be a little, you could use anything you had. If you had a little piece of wood even. Or a toothpick. Well, I could paint a toothpick and do it. But I'm just going to do a little. I don't want to do that. It's got black in it. Hang on. I didn't bring but one little brush in here. And we don't want any black in our nose. So we just put a little nose on him.
Turn him up. So.
Oh, just a second. Okay, so right now he's got the scarf and eyes and nose, and I don't want to touch it. So I'm going to put a little bit of jute around his hat. I could use another piece of that material, but I think I'm just going to use just a little bit of jute here. That way, if you get a little bit...
Brenda Bracken and Karen Marie says they're cute.
In fact, that way if you get a little bit of glue at the top of the hat, this will hide it. So I'm just gonna...
Karen Marie says you're a little cowboy snowman.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna wrap it around a couple of times. Like I said, you could decorate his hat any way you want to.
That don't look like no Stetson I ever seen.
A little rusty looking in it. You could make it smaller if you want to. I'll go and crumple it up just a little bit more.
No, it's good. Don't crumple it.
Okay, so I'm just going to put maybe 3 little things. Do you see my glue stick that fell?
Yeah.
On the floor. I was gonna say I don't need it again, but careful. Thank you. Get up. Okay.
Karen Hunter said all he's missing is a pair of boots.
True.
I don't know where you put them.
You could do something up and under here, make it look like boots. Okay, I ordered these little rusty bells. So that's what his buttons are going to be. You could use buttons, but these are just little bitty rusty bells. And I'm going to push in the little thing in the middle where I could do it flat. And I'm going to put a couple of bells on him. He's got room for 2 or 3. All right. The glue gun doesn't want to act right tonight. Okay. We're gonna... All right, there's one. Do y'all have big plans for Christmas? I'm gonna put 3 on him, I think. Right now it's just gonna be me and Ed for Christmas Day. We're not gonna be able to get together with our kids till January. There's so many things going on with their families, and our youngest is with Ole Miss Athletics in the communication department, so he has to go to the bowl game, which really messes up both holidays. Because I think they're leaving Mississippi the day after Christmas, which is usually when we do ours here. And the game is on the 1st, so... Okay, there's his 3 little buttons. I haven't done anything to his scarf yet. I may tighten a knot. I may trim it. Okay, and then I'm going to put one on his hat, too. Put one on the other side.
Karen said stay at home should be quiet. We normally get with our best friend.
Yeah, like I said.
But she has COVID right now.
Oh, that's not good. It's awful with all the ones that are sick at the holidays. Okay, I'm going to put a little bell at the top of his hat. So there he is. Our little, what could we call him?
Dirty Snowman.
But I thought it would be a really cute idea. And like I said, he's not really Christmassy. You could keep him out all through the winter. So, and you know, if you decide you want to make your hat smaller, give it just, I could trim it. Just do a little bitty brim. But there he is. And you know what? I was just saying I may put a little bell on his scarf, but I think that's too much. Yeah, I think I'll just leave his scarf. Like that. Okay, so there he is, really quick. And again, go watch Lisa from the Silver Farmhouse and see how she made hers. Can you see him?
Yes.
Okay. That was quick and easy. Didn't take many supplies at all. Just you kind of make a mess with the cinnamon, but I'm going to do some more things with the cinnamon. I don't know what, but I'm going to save all this and put in a different jar to reuse. I think I would rather have cinnamon and clean up after cinnamon than glitter. I mean, we are still, I did one wreath with glitter 2 months ago, month and a half ago, and we're still seeing red glitter. white glitter everywhere, so cinnamon's not near as bad. Okay, Ed, do you have me 3 names?
I do.
Let me see if I can get it wrote down. I didn't finish telling you, but if you're new to my page, Ed's going to call out 3 names, and those names are going to go in the blessing box. And then if you're watching this on replay,
that just randomly comes from comment.
Yeah, just when you comment, he'll go through. But if you're watching this on replay, put #replay, and I go back through and pick one person from that. And then if you hit the little SHARE button, put this video on your page for your friends to see, then you get your name put in the bag twice. And we do that all month long, so it's at least 8 lives, usually, if nothing happens. And then the first of the next month, we randomly draw one name, and I send a big box of craft supplies. Could be magnolia designs, it could be glitter, it could be cinnamon, who knows? Okay, my hands are dirty, but give me the 3 names.
Keri Marie.
Keri.
Yeah. Marie.
Okay.
Karen Hunter.
Kay's got it going. Okay.
Brenda Brackett.
Brenda Brackett. That's about the same. I put Bracken Brenda. I know who it is. Okay, and then I'll pick one from the replay, and then everybody who shares will get their name in twice. And we've got what? Today's the 23rd. I will be live Monday, Magnolia Monday. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but it will be something.
Brenda says that's okay.
I've taken all my Christmas stuff and put it away, so I'm going to maybe find a Magnolia design Valentine stencil. We may do that Monday. But next week we still will be doing Monday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. So y'all be sure and hop on and join us. And one other thing I know she did, and I didn't get one ready, but definitely to make it a little more primitive, she took a little tag and hung it from his scarf, I think, and it said Frosty or Let It Snow or something like that. I may do that later. I am going to go back and kind of touch up the very top of his.
Keri Marie and Karen Hunter says have a happy Christmas.
Y'all
Christmas.
too, and be safe, stay warm, and hopefully everybody stays healthy. And y'all have a great weekend and a Merry Christmas. And remember the reason we celebrate. It's not about the presents under the tree. It's about Jesus Christ. So thank y'all and Merry Christmas, and I will see you Thursday. Bye.